everyone, today we're talking about how racial stereotypes can affect both police officers and the experiences of the citizens during police encounters. Our main story comes from a study called Stereotype, Threat, and Racial Differences in Citizens' Experience of Police Encounters. This study focuses on a concept called stereotype threat, which happens when people fear they'll be judged or treated unfairly because of a stereotype about their group. The researchers wanted to see how this affects Black Americans during interactions with police officers. They believe that stereotypes linking Black people with crime could make those encounters more stressful and uncomfortable. In the first part of the study, Black and white participants were asked how they usually feel when interacting with police. As expected, Black participants, especially men, said that they were more worried about being unfairly judged or seen as suspicious because of their race. In the second part, participants were told to imagine being stopped by a police. Black men predicted they would feel anxious and would try to carefully control their behavior so they wouldn't seem threatening. Ironically, these self-conscious behaviors, like avoiding eye contact or appearing nervous, are often what is seen by police officers as suspicious. The researchers concluded that these stereotypes and fear can unintentionally increase tension during police encounters, even when both sides are trying to behave appropriately. They found that some officers unconsciously link Black people with crime or dangers. The stronger these associations were, the more likely those officers were to use force or view Black individuals as threatening, even when no threat existed. In other words, Naljowski study focused on the experience of the person being stereotyped, while Guff study focused on the bias of the person holding the stereotype. Together, they show how both psychological processes and implicit bias can influence police encounters in harmful ways. This study shows how psychology helps explain racial disparities in policing. If we understand these hidden thoughts and fears, we can work towards fairer and safer police encounters for everyone. To look at the other side of this issue, we also reviewed another study from 2008 by Philip Guff and his team. Their research looked at how people, including police officers, can develop implicit bias that they might not even realize, but can still affect how they judge and treat others. To learn more about how people feel about this issue, we went into the community and talked to several people about police encounters and racial stereotypes.
Okay.
Hello, today we're here with
Ariana.
And the question is, do you think stereotypes affect the way police and citizens interact?
I do think that stereotypes affect the way citizens and police interact, because when citizens get stopped by police, they're usually feeling nervous or uneasy because of stories they've heard or stuff they've seen online. And from an officer point of view, they also have stereotypes that they have towards certain people, and it can lead to bad assumptions towards people. So on both sides, it does really affect them. I do believe that it affects.
Like unfair assumptions.
Unfair assumptions, yes.
Hello, this is Sarah Brown with
Olga and Alexis.
and today we're going to be finding out her opinion on how she thinks racial stereotypes affect police encounters.
Racial profiling has a very damaging effect on police encounters for both the individual and the community. And I'll give you some examples. When people of color, I know an incident where a black man was driving a high-end car, and when he was stopped, he was being profiled because the cop was thinking, because he's black, driving this, I don't remember the car model, but driving this high-end car, how can you afford it, basically? That's one of the examples I can think of right now. But also, when people of color think that they're being profiled, it affects the whole community because you're afraid to report crimes. They refuse to cooperate with investigations, and in turn, it affects the whole community. That's one of the ways I think racial profiling can affect the individual in the community. What else? And for people who witness it, it causes depression, it causes anxiety. Again, they have mistrust in the police, which is not good because those are the people that we're supposed to be counting on to call for help when we need help. But when we think that if when they come, they realize, oh, okay, this is not a white person, this is a black person, whatever. They don't think they're gonna get the same treatment. They're afraid to call for help. Again, which in turn hurt the individual and hurt the community.
All right, thank you. Hello, my name is Sarah Brown. Today I'm here with
J5.
And today I'm going to ask you how you feel racial stereotypes affect police encounters.
I feel like it got a bad effect because, you know, with the stereotypes, police officers, they gonna stop random people for no reason. You know, like people my color for bad things. Like we could be just chilling, they gonna stop us, assume something, say we got drugs in the car, you know what I'm saying? Just antagonize our kind for no reason. And like, all because of a stereotype that has nothing to do with us. Like we have the stereotype that we steal, rob. If I got this on, they gonna stop me for no reason. But let Jimmy have one, he'll be fine. But you know, I feel like it got a bad effect. Yeah.
All right, and how do you feel you've been affected by these racial stereotypes?
Well, like every time I go into like a store like Walmart, they always like following me. They want to steal something. Like, I got money too. Like I got a job. I work every day. I work hard. You know what I'm saying? I help my mom with bills. Like we be struggling because like certain places don't want to accept us. Like there was an apartment we were trying to apply to in tradition. They said we're not their type of people, and you know what that means. So like, yeah, it's hard. It affects me like a lot. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. Like, what? Like, how does it affect you?
Honestly, I feel like because I'm a light-skinned girl, I feel like, you know, pretty privilege gets you a long way. When you're a guy, I feel like it's different. A lot of, you know, people like to clutch their pearls around y'all. So I feel like I understand where the difference is. Also, like, you know, I feel like I don't really fit this stereotype. I try to code switch in front of people that aren't my people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where I feel like it doesn't really affect me the same way it might affect you. Like if a cop were to pull you over, I'm probably gonna get let off with a warning. Otherwise, you might get pulled over, arrested, and said that you got. I mean, they might say that you pulled a gun on them or something like that. Yeah. So you know, I feel like it's different in that sense. Thank you for asking.
I got you. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Sarah Brown, and I found a real husband in the wild.
Yeah, what's up?
Hi, what's your name?
Oh,
Pete, why you window down for me?
Oh, no, I got
Let me get out. Hey. Hi, today we'll ask you how you feel racial stereotypes affect how police encounters.
Oh, okay. So, you know, as a Hispanic myself and things like ICE around, nowadays we have to be really careful because they'll assume someone like me is a criminal or part of some type of Hispanic gang and just cause some trouble in this country. But in reality, you know, we come to this country to work, future for my kids and my children, and, you know, like, just to support and provide positivity. And it's kind of, it's worrying how, like, I have to go out and be careful when, you know, I'm just a nice guy. And yes, it's a pretty bad thing. I don't agree with it.
Do you feel like you've been affected by these racial stereotypes?
Yeah, of course. Every day, you know, when I'm at work, I get certain types of looks, or like, you know, when I'm walking across, like, you know, I feel some energy being off. So it's like, you know, I try to keep my distance from the negativity because that's what I was taught. But, you know, you just have to keep going.
All right. Thank you.